Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all you kick-ass cryptids out there, and welcome to Scrubhaus Video Club Live. My name is Glokat, but you can call me Audrey because we are friends, and with me, as always, we have...
I am Skunk Rocker.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing? I'm going to start this episode off by complaining about something. StreamYard has gotten slower and slower and slower and slower on starting our broadcast. I'm going to have to give like a 5-minute buffer because that took so long to start that I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be like the YouTube video and stuff is going to be like right in the middle of our intro before it ever. Like, that's annoying because I have this awesome... the video that I start the show. I worked very hard on that, you and I, and anyway.
Happy Easter.
Okay.
I am wishing you a good day, asshole. You can say it back.
I like bunnies.
So you don't want my day to be happy?
I want your day to be happy. I just don't know if Easter is...
I didn't say Easter. I said Ishtar.
You did say Easter.
Well, I meant we're celebrating pagans here. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, happy Easter to you too.
Thank you. You don't have to be so rude.
Yeah, I do. Come on. It would be on brand. Everybody knows I'm a pain in the ass. By the way, have you tried this yet? Have you tried this?
Is that whiteout?
No, it's Frostbite.
Or Frostbite? Yeah, I've tried Frostbite. I don't really drink the zero sugar ones too much. It's not that they're bad. I think they're fine. It's just...
What did this taste like to you?
I don't remember. I don't remember thinking it was great. I remember whenever I drank it, I was like, it looks cooler than it tastes because it has like the shark in the ice, and I thought that was rad. But
you know what it tastes like? I figured out what it tastes like. It's Mountain Dew's version of Faygo cotton candy.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
That's exactly what it tastes like. And then Mountain Dew on their website, they claim it tastes like melon, and I'm like, no, it doesn't.
That's what they claim about the Major Melon, and the Major Melon to me doesn't taste like melon. So
Major Melon to me tastes like the artificial chemical version of watermelon.
See, it doesn't to me because I don't like fake watermelon. But the way that it is employed with the mixture of Mountain Dew, it's good. I don't know. It's the only way that I like it.
It tastes like a watermelon flavored Jolly Rancher or something.
I absolutely disagree because I can't fucking stand those, and I love Major Melon. So
no.
I disagree with their assessment of what their flavors are. I don't know what does Mountain Dew say that Baja Blast is.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
You're gonna look it up. This has nothing to do with the topic on hand, by the way. Although it is funny we're talking about flavor.
A tropical lime storm. So whenever you take a drink of Baja Blast, which I am currently doing right now.
Does it taste like lime?
Does it taste like lime? Because it don't taste like lime to me.
No, I've never tasted. I don't remember ever tasting lime in Baja Blast. It just tastes like fruit.
Fruity.
It's Easter. Where's an egg? Anyway, today's topic is the main course, and what do you think I'm referring to when I say the main course, Audrey?
You are talking about this beefy 5-layer burrito, obviously.
Don't get me started about Taco Bell. Taco Bell pissed me off last night. We are talking about the greatest Easter movie ever made. I said Taco Bell pissed me off last night. Put it down. I don't want to talk about Taco Bell. Taco Bell made me mad. We're talking about the greatest Easter movie ever made. See, you're giving me shit about not saying Happy Easter back to you, and you're being a dick right now. So quit it.
I'm just getting back at you. That's the way that it works. But yes, we are talking about... Is this the only Easter horror movie?
Probably not, but it's the greatest Easter movie. That's my favorite Easter movie, and it's the only one that I watch. Life of Brian can kiss my ass.
I like Life of Brian.
Life of Brian's good, but it's not Critters 2 good.
You're right, it's not Critters 2 good. I gotta know.
You're looking it up now. Technically, the Passion of the Christ.
There's a movie called Bunny Man. There is a movie called Easter Bunny Kill Kill. There's a movie called Bunny Man Massacre. It says Night of the Lepus, but Night of the Lepus is just about killer bunnies.
It's just about rabbits, yeah. North is a pretty horrifying movie involving a bunny.
You know, I don't think that North is that bad. The weird thing about North is like how long it took for North to be released on something outside of VHS. If it even has been. But
I have no idea. I just like making fun of that movie because it's such a weird concept for a film.
There is a movie called Beasterday. Here comes Peter Cottonhell.
Yeah, that sounds like a Charles Band movie.
A giant bloodthirsty Easter bunny starts viciously killing local townsfolk. When the mayor refuses to act, the attacks grow more gruesome. In the town, they find very survival in the hands of a wannabe actress and crazy dog catcher.
Fantastic.
This is the top 10 horror movies to watch on Easter, and fucking Critters 2 isn't even on it. So
they fucked up. Was that Bloody Disgusting?
No, it was Horror Homeroom.
Yeah, well, they suck. Critters 2, though. It was an awesome little film from one of my favorite companies, New Line Cinema.
Starring one of your favorite people.
It is starring one of my favorite
Lynn Shay just has a really big part in this movie.
Yeah. Just a very weird part in this movie, too.
I like her part. It's
yeah. But it also has a bunch of other really cool people in it, though, of course.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, you've got Terrence Mann and Don Keith Opper reprising their roles from the first, as well as Barry Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got
Scott Grimes, who
Scott
grew
Grimes
up to be in the Orville. So he's had an interesting career. Really good friends with Seth MacFarlane, apparently.
But and then of course you have a couple of new faces who show up in this film to do some stuff. For example, Eddie Deason, these nuts. He's somebody who's he's
a character actor.
He's a character actor. He's been in everything. He's most famous for being in Grease. But he always plays a nerd style character, and he does a lot of voice acting because he has a very unique voice. So he does like Mandark, and he's also in like the Fairly Odd Parents and stuff like that. He's been in a lot of things. Very famous.
The big Scrubhaus movie. That if you're a fan of Scrubhaus, then I just assume that you have also watched Mystery Science Theater 3000 because we're big on terrible movies.
Yeah.
So one of the movies that you would probably know him in is Froggy in Laser Blast, which is a MST3K classic. It's a good movie. He's also in War Games. I would posit to say that his character in War Games is probably more well known than his character in Grease, because I couldn't tell you shit about him being in Grease. But Malvin.
Well, in Grease, he has a very famous scene in Grease where the greasers go up to throw it's a pie throwing contest. You have to hit the PE teacher with a pie, and none of the greasers can none of the T-birds can do it. Like every single one of them throws and they miss, and he's just all like, the PE teacher's like, if you had ever shown up to gym class, you might have been able to hit me. You know, he's giving them crap, and they're all like, come on, hit him, man, you could do it. You know, and they keep missing. Here comes his character, the big nerd, picks one up, first try, nails him, and he goes, oh, you got quite an arm on you, kid. Have you ever thought about going out for baseball? Well, yes, sir, I've really. And then they just pie him in the face, and he walks off, and that's like his big scene.
Yeah. He's apparently also in Grease 2.
Yeah, same character.
The main thing that I remember from Grease 2 is the fact that their Zippos are far too large. Like, there's no way you're carrying that lighter around with you. It's just not happening.
What in the world was that?
That is a cup.
Okay.
So, my tax expired. I totally forgot to renew my tags. I can't do anything till Monday. It's Easter weekend. So I had to order food. And the cheapest way for me to get food was to use Uber Eats. And Uber Eats was doing a buy one, get one on the chalupa boxes at Taco Bell. So that's what I did. And they gave me 2 large Mountain Dew Baja Blasts with ice. So I had to filter out the ice. And now the Baja Blast lives in the Yeti, which isn't a Yeti.
So, if you haven't seen Critters 1, to give you the quick breakdown on the first Critters, essentially there's this group of dangerous aliens. They're known as the Krites, which would later the humans call them the Critters because they're little furry dudes, and they engineer an escape. They hijack a ship. And 2 shape-shifting bounty hunters pursue them to the planet that they land on when they run away, which is Earth. They
land on the farm of the Browns.
Yes, and in rural Kansas. And when the critters land on Earth, they send 2 bounty hunters, Ugg and Lee, to get it, ugly, to go get them. The first bounty hunter, Ugg, will uses satellite transmission to find a human form, picking the rock star Johnny Steele, who has a big hit song at the time period, and so he turns into a celebrity. Where the other one, though, the other bounty hunter can't figure out what it wants to be, so it keeps constantly trying to find a new form for itself while meeting all of these characters and can never really get one, right? As they go through trying to destroy the critters, of course, are going through and attacking everybody in town. The main characters being the sheriff of the town, who is an old school cowboy gunslinger, the local town drunk Charlie, who is this crackpot who believes that alien abductions are foretold by the messages in his fillings. There's the young kid Brad, who is he's the one who first discovers him and Charlie discover the
I don't know why we need to give a rundown of what Critters is. I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel like anybody who might be watching this understands that Critters is a movie where little porcupine people attack a farm. That's pretty much all you need to know about Critters.
Well, the end of Critters, this is important. The end of Critters results in the bounty hunters saving the day, blowing up all the critters, and they decide that they're, obviously their mission is done. They're going to leave, but they're impressed with Charlie because Charlie, being a former pitcher, when he finally decides to stop drinking, he uses his whiskey bottle as a Molotov cocktail to blow up the critters. They think he'd make a good bounty hunter, so they take him with them. That's when they leave, they don't realize they've accidentally left some eggs behind.
Yeah, they Critters the end of the movie, which ends up being a running thing in every Critters movie, where like you think that everything is over, and then at the end they show you there's still eggs. Yeah. And they do it literally in every movie before.
Well, no, they don't do it in Critters 2. They don't do it in Critters 2. In Critters 2,
that's true.
Yeah, at the end of this one, but we haven't got there yet. Yeah. So this movie starts off with Charlie being he's not a drunk anymore, but he's still the comic relief guy. He's still a bumbling. He doesn't, because he's not used to the alien worlds that they visit and stuff. So he's still being kind of a goober.
It takes place 2 years after the first one.
Yeah.
So like he's been a bounty hunter for 2 years, and he sucks.
He still can't get his shit.
Sucks. Like whenever you first see him, like he almost dies. Like Ugg has to save his life, but for whatever reason, Ugg is bonded with Charlie. Like it's obvious.
Yeah, they like each other, and he's training him to be a bounty hunter, and Lee still hasn't figured out what Lee wants to be as a human form, but Ugg likes being Johnny Steele, so he's sticking with it. And Charlie is Charlie. Yeah. So they get a message from like the Galactic Council or whatever. It's this big ugly alien that pops up, and it's just all like
big fat tall-headed alien.
The alien shows up, and it's just all like, hey, we were gonna send a payment, but you do realize there's still Krites on planet Earth. And they're all, 3 of them are like, what? No, there isn't. Yes, there is. It's like, we obliterated them. We blew them up. What are you talking about? It's like, hey, you got to go back to Earth.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Earth, this douchebag, like, punk rocker guy, who's a total Chad, which doesn't make any sense. He's like the most Chad guy in the movie, but apparently he's a punk. I'm not sure how that works. He finds the eggs, doesn't know what they are. He just thinks they're like Fabergé or something, and he sells them to a guy for like $20 and some beer.
He didn't sell it for 20, but it was literally he traded it.
Oh, just the beer.
And he traded it for a case of beer.
Yeah,
specifically.
The $20 thing happens later. I forgot about that. Yeah. So he trades it for beer, right? They break into the Browns' old farmhouse and into the barn and steal this stuff. They don't even know what it is. So not remembering that, I don't know, about 2 years ago, these little porcupine monsters from space came and like attacked everybody. Somehow everybody's forgotten about this. I don't know.
Well, they didn't believe that it happened. They didn't believe that what old fucking Billy Brown was telling them was true. Or Billy Brown, Brad Brown, whatever, Bradley Brown. That's it. Mm-hmm. They don't believe him, and like specifically, he got the sheriff fired because the sheriff did originally believe, and then he became a laughingstock, and he got unanimously voted out. Yeah. And then a new sheriff takes over, and he's an asshole. The thing, though, specifically about Wesley, which is the little punk kid that you brought up, the one, he reminds me of Tack from the Stone Age. Like as I was watching this, it felt like the same fucking character. And do you remember the Stone Age?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. The dude's older brother that like is a total.
Yeah, he reminds me of Tack. Yeah. And I was like, it felt really weird. It felt really weird to like feel that connection between those characters. But I mean, he went on to do other things. Like Tom Hodges is a relatively well-known character actor from whenever he was younger. Like, dude was like in Steel Magnolias and shit. Like,
yeah. So he doesn't, Charlie later, they cut back and they're heading back to Earth, and Charlie's like, I don't want to go back to Earth, and everybody's gonna laugh at me, and you guys wouldn't leave me there, would you? Mm-hmm. And Ug's like, no, man, we're not gonna leave you there.
That's not. Ug literally just says, Charlie Bounty Hunter. Those are the 3 words that he responded with, to which I just wanted to say Fraggle Stick Car, because they don't mean shit. Those words do not mean shit. Charlie Bounty Hunter. Ugg, you can talk in complete sentences. You have been talking in complete sentences the entire previous movie and this movie. Why did you turn into Lee all of a sudden? Because Lee is the one that can't talk very well. So it makes me wonder if there was an issue with them writing the script. Whenever they just like that line should have come from Lee's fucking non-mouth having ass. Like that's it was a weird nitpick, but it just felt really weird for that character.
Yeah. Shit. So they get back on Earth. Brad shows up. He just happens to be in town for Easter weekend, right? And he's like the bus drivers, even like they're bringing him into town. He's all like, "Oh man, you coming into this city? You're visiting your granny. Oh, you a good kid, man. Hey, you know what this town's known for, right? Man, there was this kid. He said that he saw a bunch of space aliens like eat his family and shit. It was crazy. Do you know the Browns? And he's like, no. And he covers up. He's got a patch on his backpack.
He didn't cover it up well either. Like
he kind of covers it with his hand. Like
it's like if I was just like, you can't see me.
Yeah. So he gets off the bus and he's instantaneously talk of the town. People notice him instantly. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Lin Shaye notices him.
Well, Lin Shaye is the one who wants to make a bigger deal out of it, but everybody's kind of like looking at him funny when she's just all like, "Oh my god, Bradley Brown is back in town."
Bradley Brown is back in town,
and wants to do a story about it. And the guy who runs the newspaper is like, "No."
So the man who runs the newspaper is the father of
the love interest,
who you will meet immediately after like at that exact same point. So Megan, who wasn't in the first film at all, acts like she was, strangely enough. It feels like they were trying to retcon the fact that she was there for that. For whatever reason, she just blindly believes that what Bradley Brown was saying was real, which is fucking weird.
Well, the thing about it is like, if you go to the first film, right? If you look at the first film and the events that happened in the first film, yes, it is like, okay, only a few people thought it actually happened because it all took place at one person's house or whatever. But there were enough people who lived at the end of that who knew what happened, and they, like April. They never talk about April ever again.
No.
Right?
But the sheriff literally seen the house explode and then unexplode. So April, he knew that shit happened.
So the rest of the family, they all move away from Kansas, except for the grandmother, and he's just coming to visit the grandmother, right? If April moves away, right, it's not like telephones don't fucking exist in this world. They even try to make phone calls later and they can't. So I would imagine that April would probably try to call her friends and just be like, you won't believe the shit that happened to us 2 years ago, would you? So he's not alone. And the movie acts like it's like, oh, he's the only one that saw that. No. Nobody in town did.
The fact that the sheriff is like, he knows, but he doesn't want to help unless there's visible proof because he doesn't want to look like more of a fool. So they played that off really well, and that's the one thing that this movie does really well with that is the fact that it was such a fantastical story that Bradley was telling everybody that nobody believes it except for the people that were there, but it was so fantastical that they can't say outwardly that they believe it except for fucking Megan. That was it just felt weird and out of place. The love interest happens way too fast. That specific part of the film is weird to me.
Yeah, and she, you don't know. She might have been friends with April, and that's because she is a little bit older than him. Maybe he's friends with April. She knows all about what happened. You never know. So you get at this moment, around this point, the guy who took the eggs, start selling them off to the woman who helps with the church. Because it says they're Easter eggs specifically from Europe. That's why they look so weird.
Where did these come from? And he looks around and he goes, they're from Europe.
Now this guy,
he's a junk seller. So I like that idea. Guy. It's just confusing what something is. So he just says it's a thing from Europe. That just makes so much sense.
This guy is chomping. This guy's chomping a cigar the whole entire film, and also he's always wearing he's constantly changing his outfit, but his outfit is always just makeup shy of a hobo clown. That's all of his outfits.
He's a character actor, and that's what he plays, a homeless dude in everything. That's his thing. Is he plays a homeless man or a bum or a hillbilly or things like that. That's just what he's done for a living for most of his acting career. So. Yeah, that's where all that comes from, and he definitely, you can tell whenever you look at him that that's all.
But it's every single scene with him, he's wearing different clothes.
Yes, every single one.
But every time, again, it's hobo clown outfit. Mm-hmm. You know what he reminded me of? The first thing that popped into my head when I saw his character on screen for the first time. He reminded me of Flip from the Little Nemo movie.
Okay, yeah, we can see that.
Because he always had a cigar and he's a shyster, and he was dressed like a hobo. So I was just even though, like a 1950s stereotypical hobo, not like a real hobo.
So this movie sets up at this point something that, as far as I know, actually isn't considered canon. Because there's no reason for the eggs to take 2 years to hatch at all. There's nothing in the other films that dictate that. If you watch Critters 3 and Critters 4 and even the Terrible series, Krite eggs, they don't take 2 years to hatch. They actually don't take very long to hatch at all. So they were just hanging out in a barn for 2 fucking years, and they didn't hatch until they were next to a space heater. which doesn't make sense either, because a space heater is just going to get the area as warm as what you want it to get as warm as. So summer day should have fucking hatched those Krite eggs if it had to do with warmth.
And I was gonna point out, like, the rest of the egg, the other eggs that get taken, because a couple of the other eggs get misplaced as well. Those eggs also end up next to heat sources for them to hatch. The only time I've ever seen this in science fiction, the idea that the eggs have to be incubated to a certain temperature, the only other time I've ever seen that has been in that Rick and Morty Simpsons couch gag. So I'm like sitting there watching that Simpsons couch gag, and I thought, did they steal this from Critters?
But see, it's not that way in 3 or 4.
No, it's
the
not.
eggs just hatch. So it's like they set something up and they don't roll with it. But this is such a weird series. There's even contention on how you spell the word Krite. Did you know that?
It's Krite.
And it's also Crite. And depending on who you ask and who you talk to, it's how it's spelled. So whenever it comes to like the Chiodos brothers do the Crite camp, whereas the director says it's Krite, and the scriptwriter says he doesn't give a shit. But so if you're trying to buy Critters merchandise, you'll notice that it is used interchangeably. Sometimes you'll see the Krite and sometimes you'll see the Crite. That's just how disheveled the Critters series is. The series that was so dead that someone making a fan film was enough to resurrect it. Like Critters Bounty Hunter, which was done by, the guy who went on to make the television series. It's like a 11.5-minute movie about a bounty hunter having to kill some Krites. That's all it is. It made a fan film out of it. It's great. It's absolutely great. And then he went on to make the terrible Critters series about the son of the Krite and everything like that. And that's the sad part about Critters. It's such a good series. Like the first 2 movies, I'll even venture as far to say the third one's pretty decent as well. They're pretty solid. Yeah. After that, it just falls off. It's a series that could have easily been continued. They're little monster people.
Yeah, and they're fun little monster people too. That's we get this. This is the moment where we get the scene where the Critters attack the shitty sheriff because he's being an asshole. He's like, "Why do I have to dress up as the Easter Bunny?" Well, the old sheriff did it. Well, I'm not the old sheriff. Well, are you going to disappoint these kids? You put this damn bunny costume on right now. Okay, this is Easter, damn it, and it's hilarious. Nana fucking dresses him down. It's great.
Oh yeah.
So then he puts the costume on, but he can't get one of the zippers up, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna give the kids He says something along the lines of, "I'm gonna give the kids an educational atomical experience," because he can't get his dick out of the fucking thing, right, or whatever. It's fucking weird. But
and the Krite just hops in.
Yeah, so because he can't get the zipper up. Right, a Krite hops into his suit,
just right into it,
devours him while he's got the costume on as he's trying to entertain the kids, and it's fucking hilarious. It's one of the best scenes in the whole film. As this guy is like flailing around, going, "Oh!" He's screaming, and all the kids are like, "Yay!" Until blood starts pouring out of the suit, and then they're like, "Oh God!"
Not the best scene in the film, but one of the best scenes.
Yeah, there's a couple of it. There's my favorite scene, but we'll get to that. The scene that it really felt like something should have happened there, but I'll get to it. Of course, when they finally get the suit off of the guy, the Krite's gone, right? And his stomach has been eaten entirely, right? So they're just all like, "Oh, it must have been a farming accident." And Brad's the only character in the movie to just be all like, "When the hell was he around farm equipment?"
Yeah.
Like, he was in an Easter Bunny suit. What are you talking about? It's obviously Critters. And everybody looks at him like, no, not that shit again. And that's the part of the movie that really takes me out of it. I'm sitting there just being all like, but this is empirical evidence. Can you explain this? And the girl is the only one who's just all like, "Yeah, no, that actually makes sense." Of course, then they run into the bounty hunters, and so it totally is fucking legit. Oh wait, they don't run into the bounty hunters yet. First, they realize something's wrong, so they go to help Nana because she had the eggs at her house, and she's currently being attacked by the Krites. So they run over there to go help her, and they find the little remote to call the bounty hunters. When they hit the button, the bounty hunters just show up. It just happens to be a coincidence, but the way it's filmed looks weird because it's like they hit the button and they were like, oh, instantly, there we go. We transported ourselves here somehow, but it just happened to be there. So they run into Charlie, and the first question out of Brad, such an asshole. First question out of Brad's mouth is, "You still drinking?" Like, what a prick.
Like, no, I don't need that anymore. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a bounty hunter now. I don't need to drink.
And then that introduces us to the most inanimate character in the entire movie, the Hungry Heifer, which has the most annoying theme song.
I forgot to mention something. Actually, we need to go back a little bit. I forgot to mention something.
We can't cover everything. We have to continue forward. We're halfway through our episode.
This is important.
We're 10 minutes into the movie.
This is important, though. It is an important thing. Remember, we were talking about earlier the dude who traded for beer and a stack of Playboys. A Playboy fell out of the back of his Jeep. When they were walking across the countryside looking for the Krites, Lee finds the Playboy and becomes the Playboy model from the centerfold, staple included. Rips the staple out in a funny scene. Like, just this topless model with a big metal bar across her stomach, and she just goes, kill Krites. So they show up, and she's got her clothes back on now. But they show up, and so they start cleaning house. And then they find out.
This is where my favorite part is at. So there's a scene where Lee and I'm, it's not doing right in OBS, or I'd show you the GIF because it's probably the most remembered thing from Critters 2. There's a scene where Lee, they're in the Hungry Heifer and they're blowing the shit out of everything.
The Hungry Heifer with the amazing theme song that plays on a
they're all like
loop.
Eating everything. The Hungry Heifer moves every time the door opens. That would annoy the fuck out of me if I worked there. But Lee is firing off as the Playboy centerfold with the big fucking gun, and shoots a Krite right across the top of its head, and it blows off its hair.
Yeah.
And the Krite turns and it looks in a mirror, and it says in the Krite language, it just says bitchin'.
Yeah, like, the Krites get subtitles occasionally, which my favorite one is still, was it in the first one or was it in this one where the one goes, oh shit?
That's the first one. Yeah.
And they realize they're fucked, and the one turns to the other one and goes, oh shit.
Here, we'll do this. Hold on. I want to show this to people. So I will just display capture this GIF because Tenor sucks and they don't like to allow you to
download GIFs properly. Yeah. There it is. Bitchin'. Yeah. Yeah, it ends up looking like a little Danny DeVito.
I think that's why I like the Critters movies so much. I think the fact that like they're intelligent creatures. They're not they talk to each other.
I love the fact that they had so many different critter puppets too, because when the shit hits the fan, they switch one of the puppets. The puppet hides real quick, and then when it pops back up, it's a different puppet entirely. It goes from being like regular, like mean critter face to, oh god, we're gonna die. Like, it's freaking out. It has bulging eyes, and it's all panicked and shit, and it does not look happy at all.
And we have to bring up that the reason that the critters look as great as they do is because it's the Chiodos brothers, the guys who went on to make Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Critters was their breakout role where
Killer Clowns, and they did they did a bunch of shit.
But Critters was the thing that put them on the map whenever they did the creature design for the first Critters movie, and they came back for Critters 2. They're the reason that a lot of things with the Critters mythos are what they are, because it comes down to it's just a lot of Critters 2 is them just showing off special effects. There's so much of them just showing off special effects, but it's not a detriment in this movie like it can in others. This movie continues to move forward at a decent pace, and it makes you feel for Megan. You kind of get a redemption arc out of some people. Like, it's a solid movie.
So you have in the Hungry Heifer scene, you have them. Ugg takes and breaks a leg off of a stool and barricades the door with it, so that nobody can open the door. So they don't want anybody coming in, but they also don't want Kreitz getting out. Well, the Kreitz do something in this. You've seen them in the first movie doing the little rolling around thing. But in this movie, they establish, this is foreshadowing, they can group up together and be an even heavier ball of fur, which they use to break through the door. So some of the Kreitz escape, and they run into a guy and start attacking him for a half a second before they're like, oh, we got to get out of here, whatever, and run away, which it's a great scene because he gets hit by this ball and he just eats shit, which was hilarious. But then they, at this moment, Lee is sitting there, they're sitting there, like, Lee sits drinking out of a cup, trying to figure out, like, what the hell am I drinking, right? And the manager, again, the nerd guy, who is played by Deason, whatever his name is, he comes up and he's just like, hey, who's going to pay for all this stuff? Being the most dominant force in the room, or not the room, they're outside, but being the most dominant force in the area, Lee goes, oh, fuck, this person's dominant. I'm going to take this form. And begins to transform into the nerd guy, steals his glasses and everything, and goes, kill Kreitz. And
that
walks
makes me
away.
Question, how did Lee's eyesight end up bad whenever he did that? That make any sense.
Know. And the poor nerd guy is sitting there the whole entire time. He's doing this. He's like, I can't see. So they go running off to try to figure out what they're going to do. Meanwhile, they try to go get the sheriff to join back up. But the sheriff's just all like, did you actually see him? If not, I'm not going to make a fool of myself. Get the hell out of here. Right. But you can tell that when they were like, fine, if you don't want to help us, we'll do it ourselves, and leaves, that he's immediately like, I think, right? So that's when you get the next scene where the critters are, doing more, terrorizing the town. Lee finds something to turn into. My favorite scene in the movie.
Well, he ends up at a video store.
At a video store. Not in a video store. At a video store. Charlie walks up and goes, hey, Lee, what are you doing? No. Do not turn into that guy. Do not turn into that guy. The camera slowly pans over. It's a standee for A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 with big Freddy Krueger on it. And I was like, nah. When this is a kid, I was so hoping Robert Englund would make a cameo appearance in this film. And it really does, in that scene, feel like that's what was supposed to happen. But they couldn't get Robert for some reason, because it is a New Line Cinema movie, because right after this, they hold the Playboy back up. Playboy comes back. Playboy Bunny comes back, and she's all like, kill more Kreitz, and takes the glasses off and walks off into a scene where the critters are smart. We know this from the first movie. They're smart. Mm-hmm. They've gotten smarter, and they actually outwit Lee and murder her. Mm-hmm. When they show up, they just find body parts. And this fucks Ugg up. Ugg cannot handle the fact that, Ugg's partner is dead. So Ugg loses his personality, loses the Johnny Steele face, and just becomes a blank slate again. And from the rest of the movie until the very end, it's just like just doesn't want to do anything, doesn't even want to try. Just is giving up on life, right?
Yep.
So that's why I was like, it really does feel like Robert Englund was probably supposed to be in this scene, but they couldn't get him. So they're just like, fuck it, throw the Playboy Bunny back out there again. She was hot. She had big tits, I mean,
that sounds like a Mick Garris thing to do, to be honest.
So they at this point, right, they're trying to figure out like exactly what they're going to do. The critters are surrounding them. They get into a situation where they're toast. The critters are going to kill them, and then all of a sudden gunshots start ringing out, right? Because it was the one dude like leaves his house and starts getting attacked. and they're just all like trying to get him trying to save him from the critters. And gunshots start ringing out, and critters are going flying left and right. They're just bouncing all over the place, and everybody looks up, and it's this big triumphant moment. There's the former sheriff in his old uniform, complete with his badge, and he's slinging guns like he's just spinning them around. He's just being all like, he goes, "I'm back." Like real badass. We were watching the movie in the living room, and Joe goes, "John Wayne's back, motherfucker." That should have been the line in the movie. Joe does better writing than Mick Garris. Or who wrote this movie?
Mick Garris is one.
Mick Garris is one of the writers. Yeah, Joe Blair is a better writer than Mick Garris.
I mean, it doesn't take hard to be a better writer than Mick Garris. I don't think anything will towards some of the films that Mick has put out, but I mean, he's not the greatest writer on the planet.
I still think that line would have been great. Just if when the sheriff showed up, instead of just saying "I'm back," he said "John Wayne's back, motherfucker," and then spit. It would have been awesome. So the sheriff's back. He's seen the critters. He shot him. He knows other people believe in the critters now. But you still have people who are being assholes about it because they have this big town meeting inside of the only quote unquote safe space, which is the church. It's not safe at all, but they think it is. They go to the church, right? And this dude starts being, I don't want to get political, but he seems like a particular supporter of a certain president we might have had a year ago or so, because he doesn't want to, he doesn't care that everybody in town's probably about to get murdered. He wants to blame somebody. He starts blaming the kid, right? Yep. He's just, this is your fault. You brought him here. Every time you show up, people die. It's like, what, motherfucker, that doesn't make any sense. It just...
Yes, I brought them here. That was my doing.
Considering that he's been killing these fucking things and nobody else believed him that they were real until now, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And of course, the sheriff goes up there and does this great fucking line. Harv goes up there, there's a great fucking line where he's just all like, "You want to sit here and kick the can with some fucking kid, you pussy," and just dresses this fucking guy down to the point where it looked like the guy was about to cry. I was laughing my ass off at that shit. So they get this brilliant plan. They are going to, because this is a meat town, it's Kansas meat town. They have cattle. The Krites are out there eating the cattle. They're all grouped up in one area. What we do is we open the doors to the local hamburger factory, right? The slaughterhouse and hamburger factory. They pack all the patties together, turn on some fans. They'll blow the meat smell to the Krites. They'll go down there to try to eat the meat, and we'll be ready for them. We'll have a bunch of explosives waiting to blow them up. And Harv is like, who the hell is going to go on a suicide mission like that? And Bradley goes, well, it was my idea, so I guess I'll go. And then out of nowhere, Wesley, the douchebag who started all this shit in the first place, because apparently at this point he suddenly grows a conscience, realizes he's fucked up, and now he feels bad. It's just like, I'll go. And Megan turns around, looks at him, goes, really? And he's like, yeah. Weirdest fucking line delivery in the whole film.
Yeah, I mean... The thing is like he was a douchebag, and he I guess he redeemed himself, but at the same time, maybe not. Like, it feels really weird.
Yeah. So they have this brilliant plan of what they're gonna do, and they go down there. They pack the explosives inside of the meat, and they open up the doors and they turn the fans on, and then the critters all go, "Oh, you smell that? That's food. Hey, let's go get some food." And then they start rolling off. And they start, and of course, they're watching them from the church. And one dude's got binoculars. He's like, it's working, right? And they're rolling, and then they stop, right? As the one sits up, and he looks around, and he goes, wait a minute. That's dead meat.
And there's no bones.
No, he goes, over there is live meat, right? And then so they all, let's go over there, get this, and start heading towards the church. Then a big one suddenly shows up. He pops up and goes, wait a minute. But over there they have cheeseburgers with no bones.
Cheeseburgers with no bones. Yep.
And all the other ones go, oh, yeah, no bones. That sounds great. Yeah, so they start rolling over there to that. And everybody suddenly goes, and all the people who are watching goes, where'd the big one come from? And as they roll over there, the big one slows down and stops and lets them all go into the building because it's Ugg. He transformed himself into a Krite. That was a clever bit of writing. Unfortunately, the critters aren't stupid. When they close the doors, right, the critters realize, shit, it's a trap. So before the explosives can go off and blow the place up, they form into a gigantic ball. This is one of the coolest scenes in the entire movie. They bounce out of this motherfucker. This thing's bigger than a Volkswagen bus, and it just starts running people over, and as it runs people over, it strips them completely. They're just bloodied skeletons at that point, right? And so as it's coming towards...
Big fan of the Krite ball.
As soon as the Krite ball's running people over, Charlie suddenly runs off. He just suddenly, and everybody's like giving him, well, Bradley specifically is giving him shit for it. He's just like, where are you going? Charlie, don't you run away. Come on. We need you. You know, and he runs off. So they're dealing with the Krite balls, running everybody over. All of a sudden, the spaceship comes out of nowhere, right? And it's Charlie flying the ship, and he just goes, I'm a bounty hunter! And he flies the ship into the Krite ball. Boom. All the Krites are dead, right? Supposedly. We find out in the third movie that no, they missed some. But it doesn't matter. The Krites that they hit are supposed to be dead. Charlie sacrificed himself, and everybody's sad. I mean, they're happy that they're alive, and that they're sad that people are dead, including Charlie, who sacrificed himself. And this gives Ugg his new transformation, and he turns into Charlie because he felt so honored that Charlie would give his own life, right? So then we go to the next day. Everybody's happy. The Krites are dead. Bradley's a hero. Everybody misses Charlie, and Ugg's about to go off to do more bounty hunting. And then all of a sudden, Charlie shows up. How do I get this parachute off of me?
Yep.
And so when he discovers that Ugg has transformed himself into him, he's like, but you're Ugg, I'm Charlie. But he's like, it's okay. You're a bounty hunter. I'm going to go. You stay here. And Harv hands him the sheriff's badge. And it's like, I don't need this anymore. So Charlie becomes the new sheriff. Ugg, as Charlie, goes back to being a bounty hunter. Harv can enjoy his retirement. Bradley's a hero and gets the girl in the end. Everybody's happy. That's basically Critters 2. The movie fucking rules.
It takes place on Easter. The big thing we didn't bring up was the fact that like they were painting the Krite eggs, and they look really cool. And I kind of
looked really cool already. That was the thing, is they already look like Easter eggs, but then they repainted them, which I thought was silly. But
I like it. I like the repainted eggs. Like I wouldn't mind having a set of Krite eggs. Some of them being Easter themed. I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool. So yeah, that's Critters 2. It's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen Critters 2, by all means, definitely check it out. It is Critters is one of our favorite movie series is here at Scrubhaus.
It's good.
Mostly the first two. The third one a little bit. The fourth one's weird. And then we didn't like you didn't like the TV series. I never even watched it.
It was terrible.
You told me do not watch the TV series.
I will say seek out Critters Bounty Hunter, which is, like I said, the short film that was made by the guy who ended up making the TV series, because it's literally just a bounty hunter versus Krites. That's all it is. And it's short, it's sweet, it's handled really well, and it was really nice to see something like that, because Critters 1 and 2 focus more on the bounty hunters, and like they're kind of some of the main things that's going on in the films. They drift away from that. They make the Krites more comic relief in later ones, and then it's unfortunate series. Unfortunate. But I used to be really, really, really into the Critters movies. Like at one point in time, I almost spent a sizable amount of money on a Krite that was custom made by some people that do special effects makeup. So I didn't do that, but I almost did, and I'm glad I didn't. They probably, I don't know, they could probably hang out up there with all the other monsters. Just a Krite chilling. That's a fucking thing to fall on you in your sleep. Like you're sleeping, fucking feel a thought on your face, you wake up and there's a Krite staring right at you.
I think it would be cute to have one. Little stuffed Krite. All right, so you got any news or anything?
I have some unfortunate news.
Oh, you're gonna talk about that?
I'm gonna talk about Cleve Hall. I'm gonna talk. That's the one that's unfortunate. That's special effects makeup artist Cleve Hall passed away 2 days ago. He was known for doing makeup for so many things that we love here at Scrubhaus. The first Troll film, Metal Storm, Dungeon Master, Ghoulies, worked on Reanimator, Evil Spawn, Demon Wind. You know, like he was the creepiest looking fucking guy in makeup. Like, even acted because he looked so creepy, and they always just like put him as a creepy character. You would know him because he's one of the main guys in the Satan's Helper bike gang in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah. That's if you have the mixtape, yeah. There's some of that in there.
Is he the really skinny one with the beard?
No.
He's like, or is he the big guy with the goggles?
Just go ahead and he plays the character Godzilla, but yeah, let me get a picture of Cleve Hall. Give me a second. Cleve Hall is, whenever you see him, you'll know who the hell he is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna save this image. Fucking don't make it easy to save images anymore. Fucking stupid. I hate that. Change an image away from the raccoon that I normally have to be a picture of Cleve Hall. Rest in peace, Cleve Hall.
Okay, so he is who I thought he is. He's the guy in the goggles in the Pee-wee video.
Yeah, he plays a character named Godzilla. He was also really big in, if you watch Face Off, which was a show that I quite enjoyed. Not the movie, the Sci-Fi Channel.
The TV show, yeah.
He was really active in that, and it's just really sad passing. And I guess while we're talking about passing, I'm going to bring it. I guess I'll go ahead and bring it up. For those who haven't heard, rapper DMX OD'd in his house last night. Maybe it was Friday night. I don't remember exactly, but he was brain dead for almost 30 minutes. So they don't think that he's going to be able to pull out of this. So, you know, I don't have prayers, but I got you in my thoughts there, DMX. Get at me, dog.
I do a little tiny bit of news. It's something you already know about, but our friends at home might not. Oddworld's Soulstorm comes out in 2 days on digital on the Epic Game Store. It's also coming out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 the same day. Physical retail versions won't come out for another 2 months. So this
that has to do with processing and stuff like that. The whole COVID thing really fucked up distribution. That's the COVID. COVID really it's made it really hard.
I thought you said Hulk Hogan thing. I was sitting there going like, Hulk Hogan had something to do with this?
No, COVID. But Hulk Hogan is we'll just blame the whole COVID thing on Hulk Hogan in general.
The whole COVID thing is Hulk Hogan. It's gonna be so it's coming out soon. And if you haven't seen anything about it, it's basically a remake of Abe's Exodus, and it looks dope. And it's got all sorts of new features and ways to play the game. You actually you actually end up like leading, from what I can tell, in the later half of the game, you end up leading a group of Mendakans into Soulstorm Brewery to fuck shit up, and it looks dope. You even get to like at one point, Abe's on a fucking like turreted minigun, like just mowing down fucking sligs. It looks cool as shit. I can't wait.
So
I probably won't play it. I'll just watch Audrey play it because that's what I usually do.
Next weekend
Too busy playing
Super Animal. So are you gonna be in town to do the podcast next week? Because
yes.
I know that. Okay, all right. So you're not heading out to Florida.
I'm not going to Tampa. I'm not going to Tampa. And here's the thing, right? I will probably be going to Mania weekend next year, but not this year. We just moved into this apartment.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal with you. If you go to Mania weekend next year, I'll go with you.
All right, Joe will probably go too. You know,
we can film from Mania weekend.
It's I'm just waiting for this douche hammer to he. I don't want to do anything until he pays back all of his debt to me. You know,
so we know that we'll be here next week.
And it wouldn't be fair if I went to Mania weekend without him.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean,
Jaden's
also,
going. Jaden's going. He's played against Daniel Makabe. So,
like the thing about Mania weekend that we just discussed prior to this is there's the Tampa is being evacuated as well.
Yeah,
so we don't know how that's going to turn out. Like
there
could be a bunch of wrestlers showing up, and then all of a sudden you can't do anything, or you can't get to your hotel, or
I don't know what the deal with that is.
Very, very insane economical things, or not ecological things, environmental things happening there. So yeah, I guess that means we'll be here next week. Now you can't expect us to have full attention, even though we're starting at 7. So that we can get it done before Mania. We're watching Mania.
We're going to watch Mania. We're definitely going to watch. I have no idea what the hell is going to be going on because I haven't watched the fucking product in 2 months. But we always watch Mania, so we're going to be watching Mania.
So let me ask you how you feel about AEW putting on a house show during Mania. Did you hear about that?
I will say this. During Mania weekend, there are events that happen during WrestleMania that happen in the same area that WrestleMania is taking place on. Like, the fact that AEW is doing it doesn't surprise me at all. Impact's done it before, so
I think it's funny because it feels like they're being trying to spit in the face, but it's the independent wrestling circuit already does this. They call it the house always wins because it's a house show and it's not going to be televised, and it's like that just seems really fucking like you're trying to spit in Vince's face, but at the same time the forbidden door is now opening between the WWE and AEW because of Chris Jericho.
I don't think that's everybody talks about the forbidden door, but this is like fuck right.
The Broken Skull podcast is owned by WWE. They own his product whenever it comes to that. And
he asked for permission. Vince gave permission. I don't think it's not like.
Then Hunter said, "Yes, the door is open. We're willing to work with anyone." Hunter directly said that.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're acting like it's a big deal, it's not that big of a fucking deal.
I think it's a great fucking idea. I think it is a big deal. To allow interworkings with companies like that. That's good for the business and as a whole.
Yeah.
So it is a big deal.
WWE, formerly WWF, has done that before. They've had working relationships with companies before. But
no one that's on the size of AEW. Like you got to think about that. Like AEW is they are number 2.
They're basically WCW. I get it.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's not like when ECW and WWE work together or anything like that. The company is way too large for that. So it is a big deal. But it's a big deal because here's the way that I look at it. If WWE is able to work with AEW and other companies want to work with AEW in that way, then everybody in the industry working together just means more money for everyone.
Truth. But I don't like people are freaking out about it. Don't freak out about it. That's what I'm saying. People are freaking out.
Just looking forward to whatever the fuck happens.
I see a lot of people freaking out, and I don't think people should be freaking out. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is I'm not gonna rest and be happy until I see Danhausen fucking crash a WWE show.
Well, anyway, we're over time now, and so I think it's time to go ahead and say goodbye.
Now it's time to say goodbye to, yeah. I still didn't remember the name, the theme song. I'm sorry, everyone. Just go look up the fucking the end song for Cartoon Planet.
One day you'll get it. But until then, we'll see everybody next week. And next week, I mean, it's going to be Mania weekend. We'll probably spend the entire episode just talking about wrestling.
Sure,
that's probably what we'll do, because it's something that we like, and it's part of Scrubhaus. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for Scrubhaus Video Club Live. I want to thank everybody who didn't stick or who is going to be watching this later. Who's going to be watching this on the replays. Remember, support us on Patreon. If you're on Twitch, give us a follow. If you're on Facebook, like and subscribe and ring the little bell notification thingy. If you're on Facebook, follow and thumbs up and all that stuff. Look, you know what you're supposed to do whenever you see a video on the internet that you like.
I do have a request. I am very, very close to being Twitch affiliate.
Yes.
The thing that is keeping me from being Twitch affiliate is followers. If you have a Twitch account and you're watching this, this is on the Scrubhaus channel. And if you could kindly go to twitch.tv/Glokat, GLOKAT, as you see it right there in my name, and give me a follow. You'll be helping me out immensely, because you'll be getting me closer to being to affiliate status. And once I become affiliate status, we're going to be doing some more things with this channel. Maybe working into getting some kind of stream team, but we got to start somewhere. So please go to twitch.tv/Glokat, give me a follow, and watch me play some terrible games.
Give Glokat a follow. And here's the reason why you want to give Glokat a follow. It doesn't matter if you're just here for the movies, or if you like video games or whatever. Give Glokat a follow, because it's the idea that we've talked about several times on another broadcast network that I'm a part of, the Rising Tide broadcast network. Remember, Rising Tide raises all ships. We all have to stick together and help each other out. So please give Glokat a follow. Do not follow me on Twitch. I don't ever do anything on Twitch. Follow Glokat. If I do anything on Twitch, it'll probably just be me playing.
It'll be here? Animal. You stream here with this. You stream with me.
Occasionally I play Super Animal Royale when I'm drunk.
There you go. You know what? Follow the Skunk Rocker on Twitch.
Don't do that. No. You can follow me on YouTube, though. Occasionally I post stupid videos.
Oh, yeah. Follow Scrubhaus on YouTube as well. Because we're going to have some video content
on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitch and
Instagram and Twitter. We don't have a TikTok, but if anybody wants to run the Scrubhaus TikTok, let us know.
It's at Facebook up there. It's at YouTube down there. It's not anywhere on Twitch, but
with Twitch, it's down there.
It's over here.
It's down there. That's the chat.
Look.
Follow is like down in the corner over here. Diddling it.
He's trying to find an egg. He's trying to find the egg. Has he found the egg yet? He's found a pencil.
Oh no. We've went so far over that my Cure music video stopped, so we gotta go.
All right. Bye.
Teacher Grad.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You want to try that again?
I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs.